Living in a world with rapid growth of technology and a smart nation, there are many opportunities for us to grow and advance with tech-enabled solutions to improve our lives. In SCSE, we provide the opportunity for you. Over the past 32 years, the school has developed into a leading global institution for education, research, and innovation in computer science and engineering. The school is recognized as the top in AI research and citation impact amongst global universities. Together with the school's recognized researchers and inspiring teachers, SCSE provides endless opportunities for the students to grow and learn. SCSE currently offers 7 undergraduate courses, 5 postgraduate and masters in artificial intelligence programs for the students to have a variety of courses to choose from. All students are exposed to both computer science and engineering by taking common courses such as data analytics, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, and digital media to broaden their horizon in the world full of technology. SCSE also serves to do their best in providing a space for students to get ready to learn, unlearn, and relearn as part of their lifelong learning journey. The curriculums offered focus on hands-on projects that allow students to be exposed in relevant industry processes. Through the course of studies, students are able to build their technical skills by using equipments such as GPU cluster, robotics, AR/VR headsets, and many other cutting-edge equipments available in SCSE labs. The students are also exposed to high-level programming, lower-level exposure programming, and artificial intelligence for software-related courses. SCSE makes sure that the laboratory is up to date for students to have a seamless experience and a better learning environment. Additionally, training beyond academics such as competing overseas against top universities globally. This helps with student skills while learning and competing in a friendly and innovative manner. Being a SCSE student provides a spin of possibilities where the school helps to elevate you with more opportunities in unlimited number of industries. There are great opportunities for internship attachment in SCSE as the Career and Attachment Office will source the placements for you, giving every student in SCSE a chance to step out and experience the technological revolutionary industry. Be a part of SCSE today, and you can make a difference in revolutionizing the lives of the future generation.
I think one thing I like about computer science is that it's a very broad subject, so it doesn't just focus on one aspect.
There's amazing welfare. There's welfare packages like the Exam Welfare Initiative, help boost our confidence and motivation to last like exams and all this.
A lot of the people here are quite helpful, so if you have a problem or something, you can just ask them on the Telegram group, and most of the time you get an answer quite quickly.
My favourite professor in NTU SCSE is Dr. Lok Yuan Ren. I like the way that he teach. Like he'll prepare recap slides for us so we can recap on what we learn.
Professor Tan Rui, he's extremely helpful, and if I'm stuck, he immediately responds and checks in on what is the issue I'm facing.
Come and join us today as we embark into the new economy and industry 4.0 with SCSE.
Hello, welcome to NTU.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
Hello, welcome to NTU SCSE channel.
I'm Ashley.
And I'm Manika.
That's a cool name. So Monica, would you like to tell our viewers what we will be sharing about today?
No. So today what we're going to be sharing with you guys is what a day in the life of an SCSE student such as ourselves is like.
Right, so we actually took a 48 hours vlog just to show you guys a snippet of what our life as SCSE students is like.
Before we begin, let us introduce ourselves just a little bit. I am a final year student studying a double degree in business and computer science. I reside on campus in one of the halls of residences here in NTU. and I'm really enjoying the convenience of living so close to campus. I'm also an active member of my hall's jam band, so I do occasionally participate in gigs. Yeah, so that's what the background of my life. What about you, Ashley?
Well, I would say my life is a bit more different because first of all, I don't live in hall, so I live with my parents and I'm a year 3 computer engineering student. In terms of what I'm doing now, I think you will notice in my footage that I'm on an internship, so a lot of my vlog is mainly featuring what I'm doing at work.
That is pretty different from mine actually. Mine is mostly, my 48 hours I spend mostly
studying, going to class.
Yeah, so I'm quite interested to see what your video looks like.
Well, don't expect too much. I would say it is still part of our school life.
Yeah, school life, you know, it's not gonna be super interesting maybe.
Yeah.
Never know, you never know. Maybe Ashley's living a
super interesting life.
Wow.
Okay, I think that's enough talking. Let's hop right into the video. So here's Ashley's video and I'm gonna be reacting to it.
Hi everyone! I'm working from home today. So since workplaces are moving into a bit of a hybrid arrangement between working from home and working from office, I thought I would show you guys what it's like when I'm working from home. One important part of working from home is having a comfortable setup. So this is mine. It's a bit messy.
You have nice keyboards, yeah.
Yeah, it's a custom keyboard.
So you're doing that from 9 to 5?
Yeah.
The whole day? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, fits pose, huh?
Look at my legs.
Wow. This is during work?
This is after work. So I just ended work and
That's
this
so-
is what I do.
You're so close. So close to your colleagues. Ah. Wow, so nice.
Hi, so I just got back home and this is my little sister.
Oh.
She
Hi.
has begun annoying me with her body
Showing love.
questions. Show you love, sure.
Oh, so nice. You tutor your sister also.
Yeah. Gastronomical is like... Oh my god, how do I explain?
Good morning everyone. So it's about 8 AM and we're about to have your first taste of the morning rush.
This is so embarrassing.
Why?
I really just went into
Oh.
the MRT like,
A lot of people stare at you.
yeah.
Mm. That's your breakfast.
Yes.
That's it.
I cannot take a very heavy breakfast.
Oh, okay. Oh, so nice. Ah.
Yeah, they had a
Oh.
road show that day, so I really wanted to show it off. I was like, yes.
Is it every day? No.
Um,
Wow.
No, it's
Go-
not really.
Go work is go on
No,
date
no,
or
no,
what?
no, no,
Wow.
no, 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 no.
Happy birthday to you.
Aw, so cute.
Happy birthday to Enzu.
It was her birthday as well.
She looks so shy. So feisty. This is your daily skincare routine.
Yes, it's... No, I just removed my makeup.
Oh. Wow, that's nice. Yeah. Wow. For working life, I think that's fairly quite holistic and well-rounded. Like you go to the gym, you eat with your friends.
I think when you start work, you're gonna have to have like a very good work-life balance. So that's why I try to keep fit. I go to the gym and I try and keep up with my colleagues as well.
So how would you like rank your internship experience, especially compared to some of your peers, some of your course mates?
Right, so I have a few of my friends where their internships are a lot tougher. So, for example, one of them has to go to office every day because he's dealing with hardware.
Oh, I see.
And I think he does have to do OT a lot. So I wouldn't say that every internship experience is going to be the same. It's not going to be as relaxing as mine. It just so happened that the days that I vlogged on were so relaxing.
Living in a world with rapid growth of technology and a smart nation, there are many opportunities for us to grow and advance with tech-enabled solutions to improve our lives. In SCSE, we provide the opportunity for you. Over the past 32 years, the school has developed into a leading global institution for education, research, and innovation in computer science and engineering. The school is recognized as the top in AI research and citation impact amongst global universities. Together with the school's recognized researchers and inspiring teachers, SCSE provides endless opportunities for the students to grow and learn. SCSE currently offers 7 undergraduate courses, 5 postgraduate and masters in artificial intelligence programs for the students to have a variety of courses to choose from. All students are exposed to both computer science and engineering by taking common courses such as data analytics, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, and digital media to broaden their horizon in the world full of technology. SCSE also serves to do their best in providing a space for students to get ready to learn, unlearn, and relearn as part of their lifelong learning journey. The curriculums offered focus on hands-on projects that allow students to be exposed in relevant industry processes. Through the course of studies, students are able to build their technical skills by using equipments such as GPU cluster, robotics, AR/VR headsets, and many other cutting-edge equipments available in SCSE labs. The students are also exposed to high-level programming, lower-level exposure programming, and artificial intelligence for software-related courses. SCSE makes sure that the laboratory is up to date for students to have a seamless experience and a better learning environment. Additionally, training beyond academics such as competing overseas against top universities globally. This helps with student skills while learning and competing in a friendly and innovative manner. Being a SCSE student provides a spin of possibilities where the school helps to elevate you with more opportunities in unlimited number of industries. There are great opportunities for internship attachment in SCSE as the Career and Attachment Office will source the placements for you, giving every student in SCSE a chance to step out and experience the technological revolutionary industry. Be a part of SCSE today, and you can make a difference in revolutionizing the lives of the future generation.
I think one thing I like about computer science is that it's a very broad subject, so it doesn't just focus on one aspect.
There's amazing welfare. There's welfare packages like the Exam Welfare Initiative, help boost our confidence and motivation to last like exams and all this.
A lot of the people here are quite helpful, so if you have a problem or something, you can just ask them on the Telegram group, and most of the time you get an answer quite quickly.
My favorite professor in NTU SCSE is Dr. Lok Yuan. I like the way that he teach. Like he'll prepare recap slides for us, so we can recap on what we learn.
Professor Tan Rui, he's extremely helpful, and if I'm stuck, he immediately responds and checks in on what is the issue I'm facing.
Come and join us today as we embark into the new economy and industry 4.0 with SCSE.
Hello!
Welcome to
NTU.
Sorry.
Okay.
Sorry.
Hello! Welcome to NTU SCSE channel.
I'm Ashley.
And I'm Manika.
That's a cool name. So Monica, would you like to tell our viewers what we will be sharing about today?
No.
So today what we're going to be sharing with you guys is what a day in the life of an SCSE student such as ourselves is like.
Right, so we actually took a 48 hours vlog just to show you guys a snippet of what our life as SCSE students is like.
Before we begin, let us introduce ourselves just a little bit. I am a final year student studying a double degree in business and computer science. I reside on campus in one of the halls of residences here in NTU, and I'm really enjoying the convenience of living so close to campus. I'm also an active member of my hall's jam band, so I do occasionally participate in gigs. Yeah, so that's the background of my life. What about you, Ashley?
Well, I would say my life is a bit more different because first of all, I don't live in hall, so I live with my parents and I'm a year 3 computer engineering student. In terms of what I'm doing now, I think you will notice in my footage that I'm on an internship, so a lot of my vlog is mainly featuring what I'm doing at work.
That is pretty different from mine actually. Mine is mostly, my 48 hours I spend mostly
studying, going to class.
Yeah, so I'm quite interested to see what your video looks like.
Well, don't expect too much. I would say it is still part of our school life.
Yeah, school life, it's not gonna be super interesting maybe.
Yeah.
Never know, you never know. Maybe Ashley's living a
Super interesting life.
Wow.
Okay, I think that's enough talking. Let's hop right into the video. So here's Ashley's video and I'm gonna be reacting to it.
Hi everyone! I'm working from home today. So since workplaces are moving into a bit of a hybrid arrangement between working from home and working from office, I thought I would show you guys what it's like when I'm working from home. One important part of working from home is having a comfortable setup. So this is mine. It's a bit messy.
You have nice keyboards, yeah.
Yeah, it's a custom keyboard.
So you're doing that from 9 to 5?
Yeah.
The whole day? Wow.
Yeah.
Wow, fits pose.
Look at my legs.
Wow. This is during work?
This is after work. So I just ended work and
That's
this
so
is what I do.
You're so close, so close to your colleagues. Wow, so nice.
Hi, so I just got back home and this is my little sister.
Oh.
She has begun annoying me with her body
Showing
questions. Show you love, sure.
Oh, so nice. You tutor your sister also.
Yeah. Gastronomical is like... Oh my god, how do I explain?
Good morning everyone. So it's about 8 AM and we're about to do first taste of the morning brush.
This is so embarrassing.
Why?
I really just went into the MRT. Like,
A lot of people stare at you.
yeah.
That's your breakfast?
Yes.
That's it?
I cannot take a very heavy breakfast.
Oh, okay. Oh, so nice.
Yeah, they had a road show that day, so I really wanted to show it off. I was like, yes.
Is it every day? No. Wow.
No, it's not really.
Go on date or what?
No.
Happy birthday to you.
Aw, so cute.
Happy birthday to Enzu.
It was her birthday as well.
She looks so shy. So feisty. This is your daily skincare routine?
Yes, it's... No, I just remove her makeup.
Oh. Wow, that's nice. Yeah. Wow. For working life, I think that's quite holistic and well-rounded. Like you go to the gym, you eat with your friends.
I think when you start work, you're gonna have to have like a very good work-life balance. So that's why I try to keep fit. I go to the gym and I try and keep up with my colleagues as well.
So how would you rank your internship experience, especially compared to some of your peers, some of your course mates?
Right, so I have a few of my friends where their internships are a lot tougher. So for example, one of them has to go to office every day because he's dealing with hardware.
Oh, I see.
And I think he does have to do OT a lot. So I wouldn't say that every internship experience is going to be the same. It's not going to be as relaxing as mine. It just so happened that the days that I vlogged on were so relaxing.
Living in a world with rapid growth of technology and a smart nation, there are many opportunities for us to grow and advance with tech-enabled solutions to improve our lives. In SCSE, we provide the opportunity for you. Over the past 32 years, the school has developed into a leading global institution for education, research, and innovation in computer science and engineering. The school is recognized as the top in AI research and citation impact amongst global universities. Together with the school's recognized researchers and inspiring teachers, SCSE provides endless opportunities for the students to grow and learn. SCSE currently offers 7 undergraduate courses, 5 postgraduate and masters in artificial intelligence programs for the students to have a variety of courses to choose from. All students are exposed to both computer science and engineering by taking common courses such as data analytics, cybersecurity, artificial intelligence, and digital media to broaden their horizon in the world full of technology. SCSE also serves to do their best in providing a space for students to get ready to learn, unlearn, and relearn as part of their lifelong learning journey. The curriculums offered focus on hands-on projects that allow students to be exposed in relevant industry processes. Through the course of studies, students are able to build their technical skills by using equipments such as GPU cluster, robotics, AR/VR headsets, and many other cutting-edge equipments available in SCSE labs. The students are also exposed to high-level programming, lower-level exposure programming, and artificial intelligence for software-related courses. SCSE makes sure that the laboratory is up to date for students to have a seamless experience and a better learning environment. Additionally, training beyond academics such as competing overseas against top universities globally. This helps with student skills while learning and competing in a friendly and innovative manner. Being a SCSE student provides a spin of possibilities where the school helps to elevate you with more opportunities in unlimited number of industries. There are great Welcome to NTU's School of Computer Science and Engineering, SCSE in short. We are live from Innovation Lab where you get to speak with us, the current students. My name is Zikin and I'm a Year 2 student from Computer Science. Today we have with us here a very diverse panel of current students to give you insights into life at SCSE. Before we begin, let us introduce ourselves, starting from Bunyan.
Hi, I'm Bunyan. I'm Year 4 Computer Engineering.
I'm Nicole. I'm from Year 2 Computer Science.
Caleb, and I'm from Year 3 DSAI.
Hi, I'm Brian from Year 3 Business and Computing.
Hi, I'm Yongjin from Year 2 Computer Science and Economics.
Before we begin with the questions, we want you to be part of the conversation. We'll be taking audience questions through Slido. To participate, log on to Slido at #AskSCSE, that is AskSCSE as reflected on the screen. Do not worry if you're not able to stay for the entire session, as this session will be recorded on YouTube. To kick off the session, let's start off with a question on school life at NTU. So could we have Brian to share more about the different type of CCAs that I can join in NTU? What is the big three that everyone is talking about?
Sure. So NTU is home to a diverse plethora of CCAs. Mainly, there's the umbrella of the big three, which include the Student Union, the Cultural Activities Club, and the Sports Club. These are the three umbrellas under which most school-level CCAs fall under. Other than this, there's also the hall and faculty-specific CCAs. For me, I'm privileged to be part of the SCSE Club and the SCSE Orientation Committee, as well as the Peer Helping Program, where I've met a group of amazing and wonderful friends.
So much. Caleb, could you also share with us some of the CCAs that you have participated in? I understand that you used to stay in hall. How is it possible that you can juggle the academic rigor of SCSE, school life, hall life, and your own personal life?
Yeah, so personally, I think it's based on each individual itself. I joined football and a few other hall CCAs, so it was possible for me to juggle between academic rigor of SCSE and other co-curricular activities. I feel that people are scared of this because they think that SCSE people have to study a lot, and they are unable to like hang out with their friends as much and things like that. So I feel that this perception is wrong. Like if you have good time management skills and you don't like rush your tutorials to the last minute, I think that you are definitely able to juggle these aspects of your life and still have friends, like hang out with your friends.
Okay, we have a question from Slido. Why do you choose DSAIs over all other major? So, could you share with us your background? Do you have prior knowledge to computer science before joining NTU? What made you choose DSAI? The main considerations? Was it your friends, your family, or some career aspirations?
So personally, I didn't really want to, like at a point when I was applying for university, I wasn't like 100% sure if I could, like I wanted to study computer science purely. So since I like studied in JC and I took like basic subjects like mathematics, physics and things like that, I really enjoyed studying mathematics. So when I was looking at the courses in NTU, I realized that DSAI has like 50% mathematics. So I decided to apply DSAI. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much for the sharing. So maybe a question on international student school life in NTU. So I would like to direct this question to Nico. Could you share with us your background and how is it like to be an international student in NTU?
Hi, sure. So to give a little bit of context, I'm actually from Malaysia. So I came in during the COVID year. And although like at the very beginning, a lot of things were like online, but I found it very easy to like immerse into the culture in NTU, and I've always felt really welcomed by the community here, regardless of everyone's backgrounds. And I remember like this really memorable experience that I had. So during my first year, I joined this like student support group, and basically a local senior is assigned to each group, and each group consists of like different students from different backgrounds, and we had a lot of fun, and my senior always like was there to help me out whenever needed.
Yeah, thank you so much. How about Yongjian? I also understand that you matriculated during the COVID period where, all your matriculation, your orientations are all held virtually. So how do you, make new friends, given that you are taking a double degree, there's a lot of time needed to spend on studying?
Okay, so mainly because I was like joined NTU during the COVID period, so like I was lucky enough to have like a lot of seniors to help me with my processing of the stuff. For example, like opening bank account, doing my student pass, etc. And for other than that, I make friends by joining in like hall orientations and school orientation stuff. So it's like when you get into OGs and you get to know about different friends from different backgrounds, etc. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. So as you have heard from Nico and Yongjian, we have a very diverse student body in NTU. So I'm not getting any Slido questions from the school life. So maybe we'll move on to hall life. So I think Brian just now mentioned about hall CCAs. So could you share with us what is the hall that you stay in and what's so special about this hall that you would want to recommend others to also join?
So I'm staying in Pioneer Hall for the past 2 years. And Pioneer Hall is part of the Crespion cluster. And Crespion is actually a mix of both Crescent and Pioneer because they are both side by side. So they just combined into one. There's a Crespion cluster. And what I really like about this place is that it is very close to Yunnan Garden. And number two, it is also very close to the bus stop that takes you to the MRT. So being close to Yunnan Garden, for me, I'm a nature person. So I like walking around in parks and enjoying like the scenery and watching plants and the pond. There's a lot of fishes as well. And to me, like I like nature and like this kind of thing. So it's really good for me because it's so close by. And whenever I'm stressed or whenever I want to go out with my friends, we can just go and chill around at Yunnan Garden. That's what I like about my hall. So in terms of choosing for halls, different halls are known for their specific things that are good for each hall. There are pros and cons for every hall. So for example, if for SCSE, the closest halls to our SCSE building is Hall 10 and Hall 12. And the North Hill side, there's also home to a lot of good food options as well as a massive gym at the area. So really in terms of the best hall, it really depends on what you're looking out for. And yeah, for me, it'll be Crespian because of the garden. If you're looking for a place close to SCSE, Hall 10, Hall 12. If you like to gym and you like to have a lot of good food options, then Northfield will be your best option.
Thank you so much. So I think we also have another question on, how is the hall application like, especially for international students, because there is no accommodation for you guys other than the hall, right? So there are students who are interested on Slido to find out what is the application process like. Are you guaranteed a hall, accommodation when you apply to NTU? Yeah, maybe could we have Nico or Yongjian to share?
Sure. So to my knowledge, when I applied, I had like a 2 years guarantee. But after that, so your first year is guaranteed, and when you apply, you can't really choose which hall you want to stay in. But from first year onwards, so when you're entering year 2, you can choose your preference, and those preferences are given based on your CCA points, which are like points that you gain from joining different CCAs. Yeah.
How about Yongjian?
Yes, we are guaranteed like 2 years of hall stay, and other than that, I think if you are really facing problem with like hall applications, you can always reach out to the student union or the hall office. Like they will sometimes provide help to help to expedite the process of helping international students to get their hall stay. Yeah, although it's not really like guaranteed, but in somehow you are helped with the process. Yeah.
Okay, so we hear a lot about halls and CCAs, and NUS has this thing called IHG, right? I think it's inter-house games. So does NTU have a similar system where halls compete with each other on different type of CCAs, maybe like frisbee or rugby? So anyone has participated in inter-house games in NTU, or is there another term for that? Anyone like to share?
Share about this. So IHG actually stands for Inter-Hall Games in NTU. So personally, when it was my batch, it was affected by COVID. So we didn't really manage to, when I was year 1 and year 2 and I stayed in hall, we didn't really manage to participate in any IHG activities. But I think the IHG now is back. It happened this year, and the good thing is that in hall, you are able to join any CCAs usually with no experience. So that's like a good thing. For CCA, for the NTU, it's likely that you might need some experience before you join the school teams, because like these are like the people, the best players from like all the JCs and polys. Yeah.
So in general, would you say that it is not too difficult to join a hall CCA compared to an NTU Sports Club CCA?
Yeah. That's the conclusion. Yeah, it's definitely, you can come to from my own hall experience, like you definitely can come to join any hall CCA and just like do it recreationally and have fun with it. Yeah.
Yeah, so now lessons are moving over to physical from the virtual life. Bunyan, I understand that you don't stay in hall. So do you find that is there any regrets not staying in hall? Is the travel time inconvenient? What are some of the buses or feeder services that you can take to NTU?
Okay, so there are some reasons why I don't stay in hall. Firstly, is because I stay rather near to the school. I stay in Clementi, so traveling to school isn't as bad as my friends that stays in the east side or the north side of Singapore. Traveling to school, yes, I think NTU is relatively far from anywhere, even though if you stay in the west side. And as for, sorry, what's the second half of the question?
Any kind of feeder bus service or what kind of means do you come to NTU?
Okay, so I think the fastest way to NTU is to travel to the Pioneer MRT station and take 179 from there. Also, there are some bus feeders from different MRT stations. You can actually search it out online.
Yeah, so maybe for myself, I also live relatively close to NTU. So if you have heard of this place, it's called Extension. is a term for Nanyang CC nearby, right? And I live around there, so for me, I will cycle to school. It takes about maybe 15 minutes. And actually, NTU has a lot of bike parking lots, be it the Arc, you know. I think incoming students will get to explore all these when you come into SCSE. So I think there's a Slido question right now. Could you elaborate more on how can you secure a hall after the guaranteed stay by NTU? Anyone would like to take up this question?
Also, basically, you can secure your hall by earning your CCA points. So the points are in levels that are, 3 points, 5 points, 7 points, and 9 points. So your hall rooms are also allocated based on that preference. But also, there are many different ways to get hall. Also, for example, you can join like the school team in sports, and you get a guaranteed hall. Yeah. So I would suggest to don't feel worried about hall allocation because you'll familiarize yourself with that process when you come in. Yeah.
Now since we're talking about hall, so I think one thing that Singapore is known for is its good food, right? And people want to know if food in NTU is as good. So could you share with us your favorite food from hall or in NTU in general? Yeah, maybe starting from one round from Yongjian.
Okay, there's actually a quite good mala over here at North Hill. It's called the Hot Hideout, and it's really good. Yeah, because there's like fried potato and fried, what do you call it, the lotus. Yeah, and yeah, it's really worth a try over there.
Is it spicy?
Actually, I can't really eat spicy, so I always order the least spicy one. But
Okay,
it's
okay.
always very spicy.
How about Brian?
Favorite is the ayam penyet store at Crespian. So actually it is moderately cheap and decent, but the ayam penyet that they give you is actually huge. Like it was so big that you can be hungry, right? That day I skipped lunch because I had to rush around for like CCA and lunch and dinner and like other commitments in the afternoon. So I came back for dinner, I ordered one ayam penyet and I felt extremely full afterwards, even though I was starving. Like I just skipped my lunch before because the servings are so generous and the food is so nice that it just fills me up so much.
Personally, I think I'm quite lame. I like McDonald's and things like that. Yeah, so actually NTU has like a lot of fast food options. Like if you're just rushing for class, you can just eat McDonald's and tapao something quickly. Yeah, so that's my favorite food.
So for me, I like a little bit of like international taste. So I like Korean food, and there's one really good Korean food stall in Tama, which is my own like hall itself. Yeah, and the price is quite reasonable.
I feel that NTU has a lot of selection of food. It's just that whether you have the time or are you willing to go and explore NTU, because there is a lot of hall in NTU. So let's say if you spend most of your time in North Spine, and I'm sure maybe 1 or 2 years in you are very tired of the food you have in North Spine, you can go and explore the other canteen options in the other halls. So one of my favorite ones is the Cai Fan store or the Ban Mian store from Ken 14. That one is pretty good and it's very affordable.
Yeah, maybe for myself, I'm not a hall person, but I like to eat at this place called Quad Cafe. I'm not sure if you heard. It's in between the North Spine and the South Spine intersection. They sell really cheap food there. The chicken rice I think is $3.50. So that's my go-to meal every single day. So I think I'm even more boring than fast food. Yeah. Okay, there's a question on Slido. So this person is very interested in joining hall council, and he wants to know what is the selection process like, and is it very rigorous? Are there interviews? The kind of trials and stuff like that. Probation period. Anyone has been in hall council or know what is the selection process roughly like? Could you share?
So, I'm actually in the subcommittee, so not like the main committee. But if you want to get into the main committee, I believe there's an election process. So you get like hall members to elect for the people that they want to represent the hall. And for subcommittee, you can always apply after the main committee has been chosen and set up. Yeah, so you likely get like emails or like Telegram messages to apply for these positions. So don't worry. Yep.
Okay, thank you so much. So we are not receiving any more Slido questions for the hall life. So we'll move on to degree related questions. And I think a lot of students tend to ask this question: what is the difference between computer science (CS) and CE, computer engineering? And I think this is a question that I have myself too. So why not we ask our student panel here? So Bunyan, as a year 4 student, could you share with us your experience throughout these 4 years in NTU studying computer science, and maybe just share with us what's your favorite module?
Okay, so I feel that SCSE, the 3 degrees, right, are relatively similar at the very beginning, because there are some modules that SCSE believe that is very fundamental to all computing students, such as data structures and algorithms, introductory to block computing, because I believe that a lot of people coming into SCSE are very worried that they might not be that good at programming. So we have some very basic programming courses in SCSE. Following on, for CS and C, in year 1, there's only 1 or 2 modules that differs, but from year 2 onwards, C has some modules that, such as microprocessors, embedded programming. So I can see, if you can see the car in front of me, right? That is one of the build-ups to for C student, because in year 3, we have a module called multidisciplinary project, which CS and C students team up to build this. So the C student is mainly in charge of programming the microcontroller, and the CS students are the ones doing the algorithms.
So can you share more? Do you feel like you are lacking something in the hardware aspect? Because there's a common myth, right, that as a CS student, I will only be studying software and nothing related to hardware. So as a computer science student, do you feel that you are lacking in, or sorry, computer engineering student, do you feel you are lacking in the software aspect?
Not really. I feel that personally for me, if there's something that I really want to learn, I can always look it up online. And I have a lot of CS friends, and if there's something that I'm not very sure about, I can also consult them. And from year 1 and for year 1 and year 2, right, I have to emphasize that CS and CE curriculum is very, very similar. We also have a module called software engineering, which we learn how to do proper software development, how the life cycle works, how to plan for the software, like in the real world, how will we interact with the customers, how to manage expectations with the clients, and how to design the software in terms of like sequence diagrams and class diagrams. So I don't feel like I'm lacking behind to CS in terms of software modules or software knowledge.
Okay, we heard from the computer engineering side. Let's hear it from the computer science side. So how about Yongjian? Do you find that as a CS student, you are mostly doing math? Because a lot of people think that, oh, if I come to CS, my math must be good. I need to have good logic. But is this really true? If you come in with not much knowledge about the different type of math, I don't know how to do linear transformation, Fourier transform, will I be a disadvantage in SCSE?
Yes, we did take a lot of like math mod. Like we start with mathematics 1, then followed by discrete math, linear algebra, props and stats, etc. So it's like, if you are not, how to say, it's like the courses will get you ready for your math, and you do not need to worry too much about like not really doing good, because like you'll learn along the process, and it's not something to be really to be worried about, and you'll be like fully prepared to know what you need to do. Yeah.
Okay. There's a question on DSAI. So it's data science and artificial intelligence, and I think this question is very related to Caleb. So there is CS and CE. How do I know whether or not I should choose either one of them, or should I choose DSAI? So what's your consideration when you took up DSAI? Was there a reason why you didn't choose CS and CE?
Yeah, so I think the main consideration is whether you are very interested in mathematics. Yeah, so and another consideration would be what you want to do as your future career, because I think when you're in DSAI, you may not take as many CS modules. You're not completely a software engineer. So I think these are the 2 main considerations. The differences between DSAI and CE and CS is that when you graduate from CS and CE, you will be given a certificate which is Bachelor's of Engineering, whereas in DSAI, you will actually graduate with a Bachelor's of Science. So the whole curriculum is structured in a science way. Like we will take like scientific communication, whereas CE and CS people will take engineering communication. And also in the first 1 or 2 years, the curriculum is more or less the same. So just now Yongjian mentioned that CS people will also take some math modules, but these math modules are from the computing school. So for DSci students, we will take math modules from the SPMS, which is the math school. Yeah, so it's slightly more theoretical and less, how do I put it, like applicable compared to the modules that CS people take, like the mathematics modules that CS people take. Yeah.
So you heard it from the panel. As a CE or CS student, you won't really feel that you are lacking in anything. And if you are really interested in the math and you know on the onset you want to specialize in AI or data science, then DSAI might be the path to go. So there's also another question on Slido. So this student is asking on the work study degree related program. Caleb, can you share with us what is this about? Is it only applicable to DSAI students, or can CS and CE people take it up?
This work study program is offered by the College of Engineering, and I think currently it's only applicable for DSAI students. So this program, right, actually starts from year one, like end of year one, where you can start applying. So basically every holiday and every time you have a semester break or summer holiday, you are required to do some kind of attachment program with companies that are partnered with NTU. Yeah, so I actually was in the program in year 2, where I applied to and got an internship through the work study program. Yeah, and you are allowed to change companies throughout every holiday and every semester. So the goal of this program is actually to make sure you are like ready for work. Yeah.
Okay, thank you for the sharing. So there's interesting question, right? Especially for double degree students. Do you feel that the difference in the subjects that you're taking, so there's business or economics and computer science, because one is an arts degree and one is a very science and engineering related degree. Do you find that there is any clashes, or do you find that you struggle between one of them more? Maybe Brian can take this question.
Yeah, I think I can go first. So I guess the assumption is that one is very sciencey based and one is very arts based. So at least for business and computing, I think you can make a clarification here, because for business, right, your business is a specialization in business analytics. So in Nanyang Business School, the business course is 3 years and there are different specializations. So year 1, you take the common business core, which includes like accounting, marketing, the fundamentals of business. And then after that, you specialize into like human resource, actuarial science, and business analytics. So specifically for BCG students, you must specialize in BA, business analytics, which is really about taking data and turning it into business decisions. And in BA, what we do is that we cover R and Python, which are programming languages to do data science. And so in my opinion, I feel like it is the more technical side of business. And so it actually kind of meshes quite well with your existing computer science specialization, because in both of them, you are dealing with code. But in business, you also have like the client, the human aspect of it, the business side. Like what is the value of your project to the company, and what is like your fundamentals of what's the value that you're trying to add. But computer science is more theoretical. So I feel like this mesh is synergizes well. I don't think there's a clash, and it offers you multiple perspectives on a singular issue, both the business side and the technical side.
Yeah, so there's some kind of synergy there, right? Especially for the business and computer side. How about Yongjian? Economics and computer science. How do you think this economics degree, the modules that you take there, how does it value add to your computer science knowledge?
Okay, so for econs, it's more towards like social science perspective, right? So if you want to find something similar between like com science and econs, maybe you can find something in the math part. Yeah, because like for econs it relies quite heavy on math, like doing integrations, calculations, and we also have like probabilities and statistics for econs mod as well. So yeah, if let's say if you are doing like econs and com science, so the point is to like to get the knowledge from the more econs perspective and from a little on the business side. So maybe for options, career options, is something related to more finance sector and more data science perspective. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, we have a question on Slido. So the person is asking, if I have zero experience in coding and I am bad in math, would you recommend me to join SCSE to take up either computer science or computer engineering? So maybe Bunyan, can you take this question? So having gone through 4 years, do you feel that SCSE adequately prepares you in year 1, year 2 for some of the specialization that you will take in year 3 and year 4?
I'll say yes. Coming from poly, actually in year 1, right, I felt that I was lacking in terms of math knowledge because in polytechnic, our math modules is more practical instead of theoretical, right? So in that aspect, I felt that I was really lacking behind. And in terms of coding, I had very minimal coding experience. In poly, I only did one module on programming, introduction to C, and that's it. I have no other programming experiences, and I have to pick it all up at the first year in SCSE. I wouldn't say that it's easy. I wouldn't say any com science or computing related degree is easy because there is a certain amount of rigor you should expect coming into such a degree. But I feel that if you have the determination and the grit to do well, I'm sure you can excel in this.
Okay, you mentioned about the robot that is sitting in front of us there. So there was a question on Slido, and that person is really interested in this robot. So you mentioned that it's MDP, so it's the multidisciplinary project, right? Could you share with us more on what is the highlight of this? Why is everybody always talking about MDP? Some of the good experiences that you have, and yeah, what would be your advice for someone who is going to take MDP?
Okay, so NDP is very well known in SCSE because it's kind of a rite of passage for CS and C students, and it's fun in the sense that your grade is mostly tied onto how well you do for the competition at the end of the module. So there will be a competition on like the fastest car that can complete the maze, the most number of images you can recognize along the way. And it's a build-up of all the modules you have done in your first 2 years in SCSE. So that's where you can really see how most of your past knowledge can become applicable because most of the modules, I would say that you learn in isolation. And some students struggle to see the bigger picture of why am I doing this module? They'll say, I don't think I will need this, but when you finally applied it, then you will be like, oh yeah, I'm glad I learned it. But I wouldn't say that it's easy because it's a very big project. There's an 8-man team. You have to work with different kinds of people coming up and trying to build one robot, right? It's rather challenging. I'm actually doing it this semester, so I have not completed this module yet. I'm actually halfway through this module right now.
Okay, so we can see that actually NTU SCSE adequately prepares us, right? Be it whether you have zero coding experience or you're not too good in math, there are a lot of modules in the year 1 and year 2 to help prepare you for all these kind of big projects like MDP or even in the DSAI field, right? So moving on, we would like to go on to hackathons and internships. So there's this question on Slido, and I would like to ask Brian, is it necessary for me to take an internship in NTU? Is it compulsory? Do I have to do it?
So in terms of being necessary, right? In the literal sense of the word necessary, yes, it is necessary. Because across CE, CS, and DSAI, you are required to take a 20-week professional internship or PI, and that is part of your graduation requirement. So you have one semester where that whole semester you're only doing an internship with a company, and you have to do that in order to graduate. And for the BCG side, we have a 10-week professional attachment or PA, but the idea is exactly the same. You intern with a company during a summer break, and that counts as your graduation requirements. So in terms of being literally necessary, I would say yes. But I would say that don't interpret this as just something you need to do to graduate, because I feel like internships itself is necessary in the sense that it can make you a better tech worker, and it's really essential for you to build your skills. So for this, I break it down into 3 things. There's knowledge, there's skills, and there's wisdom. So knowledge is telling you how to build. Okay, knowledge is telling you why you should build things in a certain way. Skills is telling you how to build it, and wisdom is telling you whether that thing you want to build is worth doing for the company. For the school, they teach you skills and knowledge, the 2 things: how to build things and why you build it in a certain way. In internships, you learn mainly skills and wisdom. So how to build things, as well as whether that thing is worth building for the company in terms of the cost, in terms of the value to your customers, etc. And I think that you need all three in order to be a successful tech worker. And I feel that this is where internships come in to fill the gap of wisdom and maybe to learn skills outside of the classroom, because tech is a very broad field, as you know. Yeah.
Yeah, that was very insightful. So actually, NTU really does prepare us, right, from the theory aspect to practical application of the theory skills. How about Nico? I understand that you have not done your professional internship, but can I ask, how are you going to source for your professional internship? What are some of the portals that I could look into? What is the support that NTU provides for us?
Sorry. So NTU has a portal where you can apply for internships, and is a way to is an easier way than outsourcing yourself. But you can also outsource your own internships. And to prepare for internships, you have to see what type of internships you're going for. So, for example, software engineering, sometimes they require more like technical questions and like algorithms questions, where you can practice using websites like LeetCode and HackerRank and HackerEarth, whatnot. And I think Caleb also has a lot of experiences in like internship applications, so maybe he can put in like what type of things he prepared to tackle these internships. Yep.
Okay, sure. Yeah, so sure. Yeah, so actually in NTU, right, we have this website called NTU Career Axis, I think. Yeah, so NTU Career Axis actually has like a lot of partners that they like these companies, right? They post like their internship jobs on this portal, so you can actually use that to source for internships as well. In terms of what Nico was saying about preparing for internship interviews, I think that every role is different. Like she was saying that software engineering requires like maybe more difficult algorithms questions, and data science have algorithm questions as well, but they may not be as difficult, and may have like some machine learning questions and things like that. And lastly, I think there's one more like industry called the quant industry. I think that one usually has a lot of mathematical questions. Yeah, so if you want to prepare, you probably can search online, like on resources, how to prepare.
Okay, so we have touched on the Career Axis platform. So that is sourcing for internships using NTU's portal, right? But Nico mentioned something. It's outsourcing internships. So I know that Bunyan just completed his professional internship. So when you were finding, do you try to outsource for internships? And what is this term outsourcing for internship?
For me, I didn't use the NTU portal to look for an internship. Mostly, I went on LinkedIn. LinkedIn has a lot of options you can look through, and they give a relatively good description of what you are going to learn in the internship. Personally, for me, after looking at the LinkedIn, right, what happened was that I have a friend that was already interning, and he introduced me to his company. So that's what happened, and I applied for it and went for the interview, and that's how I got the job. So there is a lot of ways you can go around, and you can also look you can also Google. There's a lot of career websites online, and from there you can take a peek.
Yeah, so what if, I don't find any kind of suitable internships on the Career Axis platform, or, I don't have special connections or friends that can, get me into the company. Are there like career fairs or, some kind of industry expert coming down to NTU to share more about, their life at NTU, and maybe is there like a kind of application platform for me?
Yes, actually, I believe that there's a career fair once every semester in school. So one actually happened just this week, and I was there. And there's like a lot of booths out there, and you can go talk to the full-time employees of that company and find out what type of services or what type of things they do in the company, and then whether what they do is what you want to do in the future or what you want to explore.
Yeah, thank you so much. So we have a question on Slido, and someone is asking that, he heard that course bidding in NTU is very aggressive, and hence the name Star Wars, right? So he would like to know if any of us actually encountered difficulties in securing core modules that we need to take, and how do you get about this aggressive competition?
I think I can take this question. So it was like that when I first came into NTU. But I think they already made some improvements on how module bidding works. So I believe what happens now is that your core modules are already allocated to you from the beginning, so you don't have to go and bid for your core modules. But anything else afterwards, like let's say you want to take additional unrestricted electives, or you want to switch some index, like let's say you want to plan your timetable, you want to take the Wednesday tutorial or the Monday tutorial instead, then that's where you have to look for other students that you can swap index with.
Okay, thank you so much. How about Yongjian? So you are taking a double degree, right? And he mentioned that Bunyan mentioned that core modules are already planned. So there's this thing called BDE and UE. Can you share with us as a double degree student, are you allowed to take BDE and UEs, and what are these BDEs about?
Okay, so BDE and UE are actually unrestricted electives. So you can choose like language mods, or let's say you want to do some art modules at NIE. Yeah, it's your freedom to do so. So for double degree, actually your UE, your quota for UE is already like allocated for your core mods of the other degree. So it's like you have limited choices to do your E. For me, I actually only have 3 academic units for UE. Yeah, so it's up to me if I want to take extra, but the allocated slot is only 3.
Okay, thank you so much. So we have another question on Slido. Are there any guides or workshop on how to craft resumes or papers for interview? Maybe we could have Brian. So you're coming from a business degree background as well, right? Do you feel that this gives you an edge, or being a normal SCSE student, be it CS or CE, do you feel that there is not enough preparations for this kind of crafting of resumes?
Thank you. I think not quite. I think the school has really provides a lot of resources in terms of crafting your resume. So for SCSE, so BCG has both SCSE and MBS. So I'll talk about the SCSE side first. SCSE, I believe everyone is assigned like a career. There's both an academic mentor as well as a career coach. I think the quite popular one, the quite famous one in school is Mr. Patrick Chong. So basically, he will send out emails every time reminding you of maybe upcoming sessions he has about mentoring, reviewing your resume, or giving advice for how to succeed in career fairs. So, for example, the most recent, there was a massive career fair last semester, and maybe 1 or 2 weeks before the career fair, he sent out an email saying, hey, if you come to this workshop, I'm having this workshop this day where I can prepare you on how to best make use of a career fair. How to network, how to maximize your chances of getting the job making use of the career fair. And I went for it, and I think it was pretty insightful, because down there he shares his tips and advice on how to maximize use of career fair. And he has also other sessions on resume, one-on-one resume reviews and etc., where you can just book it with him, and he'll review your resume and give you feedback. So I think this kind of the opportunities are out there. It's just whether you want to you know it's out there, and whether you want to capitalize it or not. And then for MBS side, there's also the ACE, which is basically like a department specifically for career consulting, and similar. It's the same thing there, where you have option to book one-on-one consultations with any career coaches on any career advice you want, or resume reviews, or etc. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe to add on. So starting from actually my batch, so the future incoming years students, there will be this module called, if I'm not wrong, it's ML004, right? Where they teach you on how to prepare yourself for the future, be it to craft your resume, interview skills, and things like that. So I don't have any questions. I'm not receiving any questions on the this segment. So maybe we'll move on to the exchange program. So, Caleb, I understand that you came back from your exchange at the University of Strathclyde. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. So, can you share with us, your experience there? What made you choose that location, the university, and what do you do there?
So actually, I've always wanted to go to the UK. Like, I have never been there before this exchange program. Yeah, so I applied to University of Strathclyde, which is in Scotland, in Glasgow. Yeah, and it was really one of the amazing, like, best moments of my life. I just came back like less than 2 months ago. Yeah, so I'm still having like a bit of post exchange syndrome lah. Yeah, but what I did there was like I actually enjoyed it a lot, because I got to work with different tech students from all over the world, like other exchange students from like Amsterdam, Germany, and also the local students there, the Scottish people. Yeah, and I also got to experience like how different universities conduct their lessons. So they actually focus on slightly different things compared to NTU. And of course, like the ones that I enjoyed the most was just traveling every weekend. Yeah, just exploring European countries and climbing mountains and things that Singapore doesn't have. Yeah, so maybe I can show some of the pictures that I took, that me and my friends took during the exchange program. Yeah, so you can see that actually, even though I went in without knowing anybody from NTU, like I managed to make some friends there. So you won't be alone and like won't be homesick and things like that. Yeah, you can see that Paris Disneyland and some mountains in France and things like that. Yeah, so it's one of the highlights of my uni life, and I recommend everyone should apply for exchange.
Yeah, so the exchange sounds really interesting. But can you share with us, what is the procedure that you had to go through to apply for the exchange? Are there any kind of, prerequisites or requirements like, my GPA must be of this amount, or I must have completed certain modules? Are there such prerequisites?
Knowledge, I think that there are certain prerequisites. Different schools have like different minimum GPAs to apply, but I don't think it's like super high requirements. Also, you just have to apply the application process. You just have to apply through the NTU Gem Discoverer and Gem Explorer programs, and just hope that you get it.
How about the associated cost? How much do you roughly spend, for the overall journey?
To give an estimated number, actually had a pre-exchange trip and a post-exchange trip. So before my exchange, I went like 1 month early to climb a mountain. And at the end of exchange, I also did explore and went to Korea and things like that. So I would say like the overall estimated cost is about $10,000 ish. Yeah, and also that's because like even that's quite low considering that how the length the period I stayed there. Yeah, I guess you have to like budget properly and like really live like a student and cook your meals and things like that. Yeah, because some of the things there can be very expensive overseas.
Yeah, I don't really have the budget to, spend 10K to climb a mountain in Glasgow. But there are local exchange program, and it's SUSEP and it's offered by NTU to the local universities in Singapore. So I understand that from NTU there are SUSEP to SMU, NUS, and I'm not sure what's the last one. But I think Yongjian is now currently on SUSEP to NUS, right? Could you share more with us? Why do you want to go on a local exchange instead of an overseas exchange, and why specifically NUS?
Okay, so why NUS is like, because when I application to university, right, I actually applied to both NTU and NUS. And the reason I'm here in NTU is because like NTU offered me a double degree, which I am more interested in. So after my year one, I saw this opportunity to like have a SUSEP program, and NUS is one of the choice. So I just applied. It's like, why not, right? So I'm currently doing a partial exchange program at NUS, which means that this semester I'm taking courses both in NTU and NUS. And the best thing about this exchange program is that you can focus on your learning instead of worrying about your grades. So what do I mean by this is like I can take on more courses, like which is overloading, like taking more than what you usually take, and without worrying too much about the grades. So these courses you're interested in, so you can have this opportunity to like get engaged in more knowledge outside of what you actually take. Yeah.
How about Brian? I heard that you went to SMU. What will you consider the differences between NTU and SMU? And is there any difference from Yongjian's experience?
So SMU actually, their curriculum is actually very different. Their teaching style is very different from NTU, and that was one of the eye openers that I experienced at SMU. So for NTU, their structure for every module there's lectures where a professor will be on the stage and you'll be listening to the lecture. There's a tutorial where you're a smaller group in a class and you go through questions that you hopefully should have done beforehand. And there's a lab where you try out your practical skills and you try to code out like an assignment, for example. So those are the three different these are three very distinct time slots that almost every module has. But SMU is very different because they just have 1 3-hour time slot and they do everything together at that 3 hours. So there's a lecture tutorial in the lab, and sometimes they mishmash. Sometimes there's no lab or lecture. Sometimes there's like, it's just 3 hours and they'll do everything within that 3-hour seminar. And I find that that's a very different teaching style from NTU, and it opened my eyes to how different schools teach even within Singapore.
Yeah, so there's a question on Slido about course matching. So the person understands that not necessarily every module can be mapped over, right? So if you can only map over like 2 modules or 3 modules, does this mean that instead of graduating in 4 years, you have to graduate in 4.5 years? Or is there a way to overcome this? Maybe anyone could share?
Actually, when I was looking at the schools, possible schools in UK that I can go exchange to for course matching, I was just looking at their school curriculum, and actually you can go and if you do a lot of research, you can see like this course is like can match to your current course. So you have to really do this is quite independent. You have to really like do your own research and see if like you are able to map enough modules to like graduate on time. Yeah, the good thing is that most European universities are like quite flexible. So like even if they say like, okay, perhaps this module is not available for exchange students, if you email the professor over there, they might still allow you to take it. Yeah, so I think this one you don't really need to worry so much.
How about the minimum number of modules that you have to take there? Is there some minimum number, or even if you were to take 1 or 2, it doesn't really matter?
I actually took 5 modules in University of Strathclyde, but I had some friends from other courses that just took 1 or 2 UEs. Yeah, so I think there's no minimum requirement. I think the minimum would be 1 module. Yeah.
Okay. There's another question on Slido. So the person wants to know if any type of students can apply for exchange. Is there some kind of restriction for certain students? Like let's say if you're an international student from Malaysia, does that mean that when you apply for a university in Malaysia, will you be of lesser priority? Yeah, maybe Nico or Yongjian.
So maybe I can answer that because I applied for like exchange this semester for the next semester. So basically, to answer your question, whether like international students will have like a priority or not, so no, they will in the normal GEM program where you apply in the through the normal route. Local students and PR students are prioritized first. However, this year, GEM, which is the office of like the exchange programs, they launched this new program called like GEM Ambassador. You can look up on it further, or like when you come in, you can ask about it. So basically the only requirement is that you have to apply, and then you need to show that you have an international outlook, and then you'll be chosen to be an ambassador. So that is a route that you can take if you're an international student. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much. So there's another question on Slido also, and I think it's more relevant to Caleb. So you mentioned that you spent over $10,000 for your exchange, and when applying for this exchange, was there any kind of bursary or subsidies that NTU provides, or any kind of avenue that you could use to offset this total amount?
I'm not exactly sure of like any bursaries and things, but I think if you are like, under the scholarship program in NTU, they do provide travel subsidies. So if let's say you go into exchange in Asia, you will be given a certain amount, maybe $5,000, and maybe if you go Europe, you would have more subsidies and things like that. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe a question for Bunyan. Why didn't you apply for any kind of exchange in your 4 years duration in NTU? Was there any kind of consideration, like maybe you felt that it might prolong your graduation period, or yeah?
Personally, for me, it's because I rather save up the money and do a better grad trip than going for exchange, because I don't like to have to think about studying or having to go back to school to do some lessons while I'm traveling. So it's very personal preference.
Okay, thank you. So there's also another question on Slido regarding SUSEP. So the person mentioned that he wants to know how many slots are open for SUSEP, because he heard that it was quite competitive. And maybe, Brian, would you like to share more?
Sure. So definitely there's limits. There's a certain number of slots that the school can take in. Because the SMU, the partner universities also have their limits on how many they can take in. The limit varies across the years. So I remember like a few years back, it's like about 100 over slots for NUS, for example. But the most recent few times, right, it's quite limited. I'll say it's about less than 100. And I'm not sure whether that's because of COVID or because of a change in policy, but basically the slots are limited, and the limit varies each semester. The number varies. So But there's no penalty to applying, right? So you can just apply, and if you get it, then it's good lah. But if you didn't get it, you can always try to apply for next semester.
Yeah, so speaking about penalties, what if I were to have applied for SUSEP and I gotten the allocation, but after that, because of, let's say I could only map over one module, and I feel that, that it's not really worth my time traveling, and I were to, drop this allocation, would I then be less prioritized in the next application? Is there any kind of penalty for that?
So if you apply and you didn't get it, you can apply again next semester, no penalty. But if you apply and you got it, but then you back out, then you have lower priority for the next time that you apply. And I think, and based on the number of applicants, I think that basically means that you cannot take it again. But in terms of for SUSEP specifically, right, there's always this thing called partial SUSEP. So you take both mods in both your partner university and in NTU. So even if you say you only manage to get 1 or 2 mods in your partner university, you can apply for a partial SUSEP, and so you take about maybe 3 or 4 mods at NTU, and you take that whatever mods that you can take that you can get in the partner university.
Yeah, thank you so much. So there's another question for Yongjian. Because Brian was mentioning on the partial exchange, right? And you are doing a partial exchange yourself, and you are doing a double degree. So you must have a lot of modules to take every day. So how do you manage the the travel between NTU and NUS? There's definitely going to be bound to be timetable clashes. How do you manage this, and how do you plan your timetable?
Okay, so yes, taking like both more courses in both unis is a little stress. But for me, the main reason is like taking more modules. It's not about like traveling in between. It's like the way I'm managing the time of travel like between both uni is like I try to arrange my timetable in, let's say Monday I'll be in NTU, and Tuesday I'll be in NUS. So yeah, so this is the way. Then you don't need to worry about too much. Like I have morning class at NUS, then I need to rush back to NTU in evening class. So that's a way like how to manage it. But it still depends on like whether you get the tutorials and you get the lectures slots, etc. So there's some, you need to work on it. Yeah, it's not like for you to automatically be there. So you need to like really arrange your timetable well, plan well your timing, and see what mods you can take. And if there's clashes, then you need to like drop it. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you so much for the sharing. So, we heard from our panelists that NTU actually has a lot of a different type of exchange program, be it in SUSEP for local exchange or overseas exchange. And if you really are interested, you can check out the website. I think Nicole mentioned GEM Ambassador or OGEM. There are a lot of avenues that you can check up on online. So I guess, before we conclude this session, maybe you could have each panelist to share one tip or something that you want the current viewers to take away, especially for the incoming students in SCSE. You can start from Yongjian.
Okay, my advice is like never be afraid to go and try out new things. It's like uni life is interesting, so you just always go to explore more options and explore something you never see before. Go to places you want to go. Yeah, that's my advice.
I think my advice that I have in mind is quite similar to Yongjian. Just if you want to do something, but you're not sure whether you can do it, just try it, because you don't know. If you cannot get it, then it's okay. But if you manage to do it, then it's a sense of accomplishment that you can take away from in uni lah. So if you have any CCAs that you want to join, I think you shouldn't hesitate and just try it, because it's your uni life lah. It's a unique experience that once you go out of the working world, I feel like it is a very unique once in a lifetime experience. And so yeah, just make the best out of it.
Advice is more SCSE specific. I think that you have to be like comfortable like not knowing things. Yeah, because it's not going to be like everything is like laid out for you and in this industry. So I think you have to be comfortable with not knowing things and like trying to like have this curiosity to like dig out and find out more about things. Another advice I would say is enjoy the process in SCSE, because you'll meet a lot of like amazing and smart people here, and you get to do like very difficult projects with them. So I think that one of the main takeaways is like you should really enjoy the process, learning from friends and things like that. Yeah.
So for me, like adding on to what Caleb said, like you meet a lot of people from all walks of life, and different people may already have like different experiences. So my advice is like you should treat yourself as your own competition and don't feel like inferior if someone else seems to like seemingly do better than you or something. So yeah, I feel that in this industry, as long as you have like grit and the passion to excel, then you will do very well. So don't be afraid. Yep.
Okay, for me, right, I think most of the incoming freshmen's main concern is whether their coding ability will affect their time here in the SCSE. And that's the same thought I had before I came into uni, right? So my word of advice is don't worry too much about it, because writing code will become second nature to you. Whatever degree you take is not something, it's not something that you must continue pursuing on after you graduate. There is a lot of option, and I believe that the degree that SCSE provides, right, gives you a lot of flexibility in what you can do after you graduate. So for example, even though I might be doing a degree in computer engineering, but I took a professional internship as a product manager and a back-end software developer. So from there, I also gained experience on how to write good software, how the development of software is being done. So after you come into the school, after taking 1 or 2 semesters and figure out what you like and what you don't like, there is a lot of ways to explore the other areas of computing. Computing is not strictly just graduate and be a software engineer, right? There is a lot of tech jobs out there that doesn't require you to do programming, okay? And for CS and CE, in your final year, there are major prescribed modules that you can take, and it's not restricted to the degree you're doing. So for example, I can take machine learning courses or AI courses or software engineering courses, even though I'm computer engineering. So don't be too stressed out about, oh, if I take this degree, I'm hard locked into this. I have to pursue this for the rest of my life. No, that's not how it works, right? And I think what you need to do, and what's important is that you are determined to learn, be interested in what you are doing, and I believe things will work out in the end.
Yeah, I think to sum up, there was a lot of uncertainty, especially from the Slido questions that we saw. But I think be it whether taking CS, CE, DSAI, no coding experience, I think sometimes we need to take the leap of faith, right? And like what everyone mentioned also, you're not in this alone, right? You can always make friends and then work together towards a common goal to explore the unexplored, right, in SCSE. So I think that's the fun part about university and studying in SCSE. So we have 2 minutes left, and we would like to conclude this session. Thank you very much for attending this SCSE Student Virtual House with us today. If you have any questions still unanswered, fret not. We have a live chat page open at www.ntu.edu.sg/openhouse. It's being flashed on the slide right now, and this link will be open from 13 February to 19 March, where you can engage with us in a live chat. And do also follow us on our social media page for new updates. It's over there, and I think it's also on the slide. And stay tuned for our physical open house this year. Hope to see you at SCSE. Thank you.